Welcome to the Raw Quiz Show, where trivia goes to die. Joining me tonight is Tim Robbins, Rachel Wall, Jack Cornwall, and Gail Dyer. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure to have you guys in the past, and it is a pleasure to have you guys now. This episode is a special episode I'm calling Trivia Nights. We are going to play a D&D inspired campaign using the Raw Quiz Show's base trivia game to make this work. Now, there are some differences with this version of the show. For example, there are no normal points. Instead, we have magic points in place of normal points. And that plays into a brand new class system. So each player here has chosen a class to be in this role-playing experience, with Tim having chosen to become our warrior. Tim, as a warrior, has a little more HP starting than our other combatants here. He has the ability to get bonus damage on his sword points, and that's pretty much it for the warrior. Gail has chosen to be a ranger. As such, she gets a damage bonus with bow points, and she's able to use the sword points at a slightly larger range, jumping over one player. So even sword points are slightly, what would you say, mobile, I guess, in the case of the ranger. Jack has opted to be our mage. He is the Granddad Gandalf. Granddad Dalf. I don't know. It's a terrible pun. But what he can do is, with magic points, he can choose to either hurt an enemy or heal an ally. But if he chooses to hurt an enemy, he gets a damage bonus on that. Rachel has opted to be our healer, and she likewise can choose what she can do with her magic points. But if she opts to heal, she gets a buff on the healing. One thing I neglected to mention about the warrior and the ranger is that the warrior, his magic points will always heal, and the rangers will always hurt. So if they choose to answer a magic point question, that's something to keep in mind. The other thing is they are not fighting each other this time. Instead, we have a scenario with a story, and we are going to play that scenario out to the end, whether our combatants succeed or fail. To that end, welcome to Trivia Nights. All right, to start this campaign, we have a bit of a backstory. Long ago in the land of Quizica was covered in darkness. The dark tyrant Scorza inflicted a curse on the land, but an order of knights loyal to the king pledged to bring Scorza to justice and end his curse. The Trivia Knights. After fierce war, the knights were able to defeat Scorza, who was executed for his treachery, and sealed away the darkness beneath an old fortress as far from the border of Scorza's dark empire as possible. The empire has collapsed, and peace and prosperity reigned in Quizica for some time, but now the kingdom faces new war. A dark cult took power in a neighboring kingdom, and though Scorza and his empire have been defeated, the cult of Karna seeks the ancient curse to use against the queen of Quizica. The queen dispatched the Knights of Trivia to defeat Karna and his cult before they can break the seal and unleash a new curse on the land. Our Trivia Knights tonight will be facing off in the darkest dungeons of the castle where curse was sealed. Karna and his cultists have infiltrated that place and have begun a dark ritual. Karna has brought with him not only a cult monk to guard him as he perfects this ritual, but also a mighty enigmator, a creature with the head of a bull and the body of, well, whatever it wants at the time. Now, Karna in this ritual is protected by a life force bubble. He cannot be hurt until the enigmator and the cult monk who guard him are taken down. So first priority is the other enemies. To that end, let's find out how our combatants can deal with this threat. Our first question for the night, for 10 sword points. How many of the Anduin River from Lord of the Rings would it take to reach the moon?
So the warrior will swing at the Enigmatar.
All right, what's your answer?
It is 199.083.
That is correct. And so the mighty Enigmatar, in this case, taking the form of a gerbil with a bull's head, is hit by the warrior, who, with his class bonus, is able to nearly smite the Enigmatar in a single swipe, bringing him down to a measly 5 HP. The Enigmatar in his gerbil form runs away, hides behind.
How do you run as a gerbil
He falls over.
carrying a bull head? He's dragging his head.
Honestly, the foul fiend.
Honestly, the head scales, all right.
like one of those bobblehead sort of.
It's web responsive.
The head scales. He didn't even use the sword, he just kicked it. Honestly, anything would have had a damage bonus on it at this point. But our enemies were not passive, except for Karna, who is working diligently on the blood ritual to summon the ancient curse. And so the Enigmatar himself used his mighty gerbil teeth to bite at the ankles of Gail as he sailed past her.
Poor Gail.
Oh.
Freaking gerbil.
And the cult monk,
worst.
Can I kick it?
and the cult monk, angry at his allies' indignity, used a lightning spell on our warrior Tim for 10 damage. All right, our next question, a culture question for 10 magic points. Who wrote the first modern fantasy novel for adults?
Rachel? George MacDonald?
That is correct. They are magic points, which means you, as a healer, are capable of either healing an ally with some bonus there or hurting an enemy. You have infinite range because magic is kind of like bow points in that way. What would you like to do?
She only gets the bonus to heal, right? Not on hitting.
Yep.
Am I allowed to consult with my team?
I
Absolutely.
would kill that Tor, whatever crap gerbil thing that just bit
That's
Gail.
true. It just did bite.
Vengeance for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Revenge on the gerbil.
Kill the gerbils.
I'm gonna do that.
Gerbils die.
And so the mighty Enigmasaur is slain.
Enigmasaur? Is he a dinosaur now?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he changed form into a T-Rex with a bull's head before he died.
Oh.
So do we get to loot his body now that he's dead?
Yeah, can we steal the horns off and use them as like stabbing devices?
Yeah.
I want a gerbil head to mount up on my mantle.
He's gonna wear the gerbil head around his neck as a trophy.
It's
Yeah,
a
there you go.
gerbil-sized bullhead, is what it is.
Even better.
Okay.
It's just like the shrunken heads, only we don't have to do the shrunken part.
It's just a trophy now.
It's
Tim's
a-
wearing it.
Pre-shrunken head.
Nice.
So the Enigmatar has fallen. Its blood-curdling screams reverberate through the chamber. The monk, angry at Rachel's insolence, sends a fireball spell her way, and unfortunately forgets that Rachel, being an adept magician, wore fireproof robes that day, so it wasn't that effective.
Nice thinking, Rachel.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Never go out without your fireproof raincoat.
Well, in a world where bull-headed creatures can transform into whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
Where
all right,
when gerbils attack.
our next question. I think it's been a gerbil, a hamster, like
Yeah.
Just going back and forth between all those little caged mammals. It'll make a nice mink coat with a little bull head. So, all right, our next question, a history question for 10 bow points. The military forces of what Babylonian king destroyed the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem?
Gail, is it the forces of Nebuchadnezzar?
That is correct. And I will note,
For
Also-
the second, to be
Yes.
specific.
yes, that is correct. And I will note, for whatever reason, all three of these questions so far have been on class.
Yeah.
Good job,
I've s-
everyone. So,
We try.
with that being said, Gail, you could just outright kill the cult monk.
Let's do that. Why not?
Let's do that.
Why not?
Let's just go ahead and do that.
You know, I mean, I'd hate to, friendly fire. So I'm feeling generous tonight. I
And
also much killed him.
-5 hit points.
yes, it was a critical hit.
He's not dead. He's like dead.
So,
Dead.
He's so dead, he's coming back as a zombie.
so
Yeah.
now,
Let's not do that.
so now, Gail, rabid from the infection from the
Oh,
Enigmator bite,
Oh no!
angry at the enemy and having seen the Enigmator slain, took out her rage through the song of an arrow, piercing the cult monk straight through the heart. Cult monk falls to the floor, and Karna is left defenseless. But now, no longer focusing on the ritual, Karna is at full strength, ready to engage
ugh.
our valiant knights.
Ah,
That's not good.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
surprised. I'm surprised he only has 30. I was expecting 100. So
don't give him ideas.
It's,
I've been here before.
it's not over yet. It is not over yet. All right. Our next question for 10 magic points. We are going to play Pictionary.
Oh my God.
All right. As per usual, if you've got it, you can shout it. If not-
Excalibur, Sword in the Stone,
Answer.
gerbils,
A house,
rubber sheets,
a popsicle,
cactus,
Cactus.
tuning
Whoa,
fork,
that was weird.
turret.
a castle.
Castle.
It's a
Turret.
tower off of a castle.
Yes,
Turret.
tower is correct. The warrior gets it. Okay.
Woo-woo.
Tim, Mighty Warrior Tim with 10 magic points. I assume you want to hit Karna.
I can't. I can only heal with it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That is right. So you could heal Gail or Rachel.
Or me.
Gail.
Or himself.
Well,
Or he
like,
could just raise
That's true.
himself. He could
That
just
is-
raise
Selfish.
himself.
that is true. Or Jack. He could even.
I mean,
Buff
we
Jack.
might need your sword points later, Tim, but I don't know. You can't really. I doubt Ryan's going to let you split points and bring Rachel and Gail both back up.
No.
It's going to have to be a
Mm.
one shot. So
Nope.
I don't know. Like it's always a good policy to like keep the healer happy because
yeah, but I
otherwise
can
you're in the
heal.
middle
But I
of a
can heal
dungeon raid
too.
and she forgets to heal you and
Well, you got a grand total of 3 potential healers on the team. However,
Yeah,
when push comes to shove, Rachel's the most effective at it. If one of y'all
Right.
needed a lot of HP quick, Rachel would be the best bet.
Yeah, Jack, take that.
yeah. Well, whatever.
So Tim, who is technically kind of playing a paladin role, what would you like to do?
yeah, I'll buff the healer, I guess.
All right.
Thank
And
you.
You know, the ranger might have some words about that later.
Oh, I'm sure.
Wait till we're done.
Yeah.
all right, our brave warrior who moonlights as an amateur magician is able to use
He's David Blaine.
pulled a quarter out from Karna's ear. In so doing, managed to distract the guy long enough for the healing spell to be effective. Rachel, our thankful healer, is back past her normal health. So that's good. Karna, enraged at such insolence, decided to throw a rock at our mighty warrior for 5 damage. So
A rock hurt.
A rock.
Whatever.
Look, he got him between the joints in the armor, it was a lucky throw.
Why you gotta remember your chainmail underneath it?
I didn't say this was a smart cult leader.
When has it ever been
Yeah,
fair?
it's just a flesh wound anyway.
It's just a flesh wound.
He's got no
Walk it
arms
off.
left. Yes, I have.
What are you gonna do? Bleed on me?
We'll call it a draw.
What I was gonna say earlier, by the way, is I remember seeing an image that was like how my D&D campaigns begin, and it's the scene from Lord of the Rings where they're all in the battlements and Theoden's decked out in armor and he's like, so it begins. And then it's like how it ends, and then it's Monty Python.
Yep.
Yep.
Run away!
Super.
Like that.
Not on the
Ooh.
Raw Quiz Show. In Trivia Nights, it begins that bad and just devolves even further. All right. Our next question. Another random category question, this time for 10 bow points. We are going to play a spelling bee. So hands up, no Google.
You're gonna make me spell like whatever that river name was earlier.
No. But since you're in such a complaining mood, Jack,
Yep.
why don't you give us homunculus?
I'm sorry.
Homunculus.
I can't give you a monkey. I don't have any.
Spell homunculus.
Homunculus.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not Googling, I'm writing.
Yeah, I can't see his hands.
Is he writing into Google?
No.
I
You'd be able to hear me typing.
It's an Apple pen.
Okay, HUMUNCULUS.
Uh-huh. You were so close.
Is it an IS? Is
No,
it?
it's just LUS.
Oh,
No O. So you were close. The wizard.
I don't have to spell. I'm a wizard.
Yeah, he's not a spelling wizard, okay? Believe it or not, for a guy who knows spells in Latin, not so great at spelling.
Latin's
His
a dead
grandma
language. You
is
don't
written
have
in
to,
like wingdings or
you don't have to
something.
write it.
It's
Yes.
written in wingdings.
Wingdings 2.
Yeah.
That's the magic language of Quizica. Wingdings.
Random guttural sounds.
It's just the little clicking noises. I don't know what that one's called.
As the great wizard Jack once said, you don't have to spell to cast a spell. All right. Gail,
Ooh.
would you give us Fenrir?
Fenrir.
Fenrir.
FINRER.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
Fenrir
Magical
was,
wolf.
yes, FENRIR. So, all right.
We'll brush up on our Norse mythology.
Norse
later.
mythology.
All right, Rachel. Hands up. Let's have Khajiit.
huh?
Khajiit.
Nowheres?
Yes, Khajiit. There's no way you're gonna get this. I'm not gonna lie.
T.
T.
Did you start with T?
C as in cat.
Oh,
Okay.
C. Okay, keep going.
You say Kahit?
Khajiit.
Khajiit.
All right, I'm just gonna go for it. Cagheet.
No, that's hilarious though. It sounds like Tim knows exactly what I was going for though. You want to spell it?
Ahajit.
That is correct. But that doesn't count because that's not your word.
Cagit is a word. It's just not the word you were looking for.
Mm,
Just to be fair.
And it's so funny
a
that
Skyrim
it's-
reference.
it's
Yeah.
also really funny that you said "see" like a cat
Oh
I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
because they are cat-like creatures. So
Yeah.
all right.
Oh,
and
wait,
it has 2 eyes, but I'd also like to say Kenji. Yeah, I could. I'm a little hungry.
but I'm
Nice.
All right, Tim, your word is going to be griffin.
Oh,
What? What the?
All right.
Griffen.
Incorrect.
Just like, is it
Yeah,
Ian or Ian? I don't
it's
remember.
Ian.
It's
All right.
Ian.
the
We
easiest
all-
one.
We all failed the spelling bee. So
He was overthinking it, Gail. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
I do
He
that.
figured it was a trick, which I probably would have done too, but
all right. So all of our knights failed to do anything, and in so doing, we have a Star Trek to the Wrath of Karna situation where he has fired a magic forked lightning that has dealt 10 damage to each one of our knights.
did you say Star Trek? Like,
I was making a Wrath of Khan joke, but
I'm like, Star Trek just seems out of place in this world.
look, it's not really existing in the world. This is just a terrible pun. Okay. Look,
Making sure.
this is the least consistent dungeon master you've ever met here. Okay, so all right, our next question, a history question for 10 sword points. It's considerably easier than the spelling bee here.
Other than Griffin.
Apparently,
Well, you would
Yeah.
think, but Griffin is one of those words that's just easy enough to spell where you second guess yourself.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I'm just like, I should have gotten that. Oh well.
All right. Our next question for 10 sword points, a history question. Who are the major combatants in the battle dramatized by the 11th century epic poem, The Song of Roland?
Tim.
Tim, what you got?
So we have Charlemagne, Roland, Olivier, Turpin, Ganelin, and Thierry.
I would have taken the factions, but that's so specific.
Oh.
I'm gonna count that.
Were you
Because-
looking for like Frankish army and the Saracen army?
Saracen. I never
Yeah.
know how to pronounce that.
I don't either. That's why I was leaving it for you, Tim, because it's sword points. So I was like, I just wanted to make sure if you didn't get it, that somebody had it.
Yeah. And
Wikipedia just wanted money from me.
in this case, where Karna is the only combatant on the bottom row, he is adjacent to all of you. Let's just pretend there's an extension there. So in that case, with the mighty swing of his sword, Tim, our brave warrior, is able to lop off the left hand of Karna, which is fortunately for you guys his staff hand. So he's gonna have to go right-handed, which is not his dominant hand, and that's the kind of backstory we have here. It's not relevant to anything.
So completely unrelated, because we talked about Monty Python. When you said Tim, it sounded like the guy that introduced himself at the bridge.
Tim?
What's your name, great wizard? Tim?
Tim?
Nice.
That
I'd forgotten
cost-
about that, to be honest.
Okay, And so in response to this grave injustice on his person, Karna, in his anger, picked up his fallen arm and used it to slap Rachel the healer
Hey.
for 10 points.
That's not nice.
No, not nice at all.
Look, I don't know why he would slap Rachel and not Tim, but them's the breaks. All right.
He lost aim.
Hey, it's hard to aim when you only have one hand.
Well,
Mhm.
he's left-handed too, so he probably tried to hit Tim and just not as coordinated with that arm. All right.
I'm just posting Khajiit has wares memes in chat the whole time.
All right, our next question. The culture question?
A culture what?
A culture question for 10 magic points. What is Gilgamesh's goal in the second half of the Epic of Gilgamesh?
I can't spell.
Oh god, I think I actually know this too. I'm
Rachel,
gonna look it up anyway.
Rachel, what do you have?
he thinks ahead to his death of the ultimate purpose and meaning of his life.
No.
It says these themes dominate the second half of the
The themes do, but that's not his goal.
So the second half or the second quest?
Gail, what do you have?
The Secret of Immortality?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. All right, that was 10 magic points. It just so happens that being a ranger, your magic points can only hurt. So, unless you want to betray your allies, I would hit Karna.
Let's hit Karna.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Karna.
Ryan's just waiting for this to devolve to where we all start hurting each other.
I'm not waiting for it. I'm not even expecting it this time. This is a pretty civilized group, and I feel like the theme that won out here kind of preclude, like, you guys are acting like the Valiant Knights and not like the grave robbers with a positive spin.
I asked and I was outvoted for not being murder hobos, so
Murder hobos.
I mean,
Alright.
it's definitely a thing in D&D.
Yeah. So Karna, using his one good arm, is able to pick up his staff and use it well enough to launch a fireball at Jack for 10 HP.
wah wah wah.
Wah, wah.
He meant to hit Gale, but right-handed.
His
Yeah.
aim is a little off to the left. Yeah.
I'm getting some definite like Black Knight from Monty Python vibes.
He was leaning because of the weight.
Yeah.
It's kind of like bowling, where if you're left-handed, you should move a little to the right to compensate.
Mhm.
Or if you're right-handed to the left, but there's no bowling in Quizica, so how would he know? All right, our next question. A science question for 10 magic points. When did the alloy steel first become used in swords?
Jack,
Jack, what do you have?
500 AD.
500 AD is correct. And as the mage, you get bonus damage. Not that it particularly matters in this case, because you have successfully, unless you're going to hurt someone else.
I mean, I kind of thought about it. I mean, do I get bonuses if I hit Rachel? Like,
Let me just go ahead and say you want to kill Karna.
I know. We'll just go ahead and do that.
All right. So
Oh.
using an ancient form of magic not commonly known to man.
It was the granddad magic.
Yes.
Mm.
Granddad Dalf was able to make a pun so obscene, so awful, that Karna took his severed arm and used it to beat himself to death,
Wow.
Wow.
thus completing the ritual, necessitating a sacrifice, and bringing forth the curse of Quizica, the dreaded, multi-headed Whydra.
He's only got 0 points. Never mind.
So in the spirit of blood rituals, Granddad Dolph,
Yeah.
that pun was bloody awful.
Yeah.
All right. We have a shakeup on the scoreboard here too, because with the Whydra now separating our heroes a bit, unfortunately, our warrior is now in the back. That's something to consider for our healers in the group. Might want to get Tim up front as soon as possible. The Whydra has many heads, one of them a gerbil head in honor of his late ally, the Enigmatar.
Those pesky gerbils.
They are the scum of Quizica. Here, it's not mice, not rats, it's gerbils. Before they were domesticated, they're just a plague, a nuisance, really. All right, our next question is a history question for 10 bow points. What modern day automaker was responsible for the engines in Japanese Zero fighter planes in World War II? Tim, what do you have?
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi is correct. They were bow points, so you are able to hit the Whydra. There's no bonus to that, but it's worth it.
All right. I mean,
He's
any
gonna kill
damage
the
is still
gerbil
damage.
head. Just kill the gerbil head.
Yeah, there you go. We'll kill the gerbil head.
All right. The warrior, Tim, picks up a nearby bow,
Tim.
lets it sing, severs the gerbil head. Actually, it doesn't sever. It just sticks through. The arrow's almost as big as the gerbil head, but there's just a shaft sticking out of the gerbil head now. And the saying for the Whydra, cut off one head, two more will beg why.
Doesn't mean there's 2 more gerbil heads now.
Nice.
It's a hamster head and now it's a rat head.
So the Whydra screams in pain and is mourning the loss of one head. The anger and grief so powerful that it sprouts 2 more gerbil heads.
What? He hit it and it gains points? What's up with that?
No.
No, he dropped.
Okay.
They're scrawny heads.
I mean, the gerbil head, it's really small.
But lashing out with one of his alligator heads, the Whydra snaps at our ranger Gail for 10 HP.
Oh
Ooh.
All right.
no! I need to heal Gail.
Yeah, we need some healing going
Yeah.
on. Me or you, Rachel? Here we go.
Well, unfortunately, this next one is not available for heal because it is sword points. Bear in mind, they are sword points, and right now, Gail and Rachel are the closest. So if y'all were to make progress, I would.
It shows on mine, Gail has 25.
Yeah, I'm going by the map here.
Oh, gotcha,
So-
gotcha.
So there's 2 tiers, and
I gotcha.
Gail and Rachel are closest. So,
Yeah, to be honest, I still can't see it. Everything's still on one line for me.
okay.
Because
So
you have too big a monitor.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I-
Okay,
I'm
let's
go-
go.
I'm going by what will show up in the episode, so it's easier to follow. So,
All right.
our next question for 10 sword points. It's a culture question. What natural food is generally considered to have the longest shelf life?
Tim,
Yeah.
I actually know this one. Honey.
That is not correct, and thank
Rachel.
goodness. Those are sword points. Rachel, what do you have?
rice, grains, and salt.
That is also not correct.
Hold on. What was the question?
What natural food is generally
Oh.
considered to have the longest shelf life? I better start messaging Gail.
I know that's
Gail?
Gail, what do you have?
Beans?
Dried beans is correct.
there you go, Gail.
Y'all almost lost some stuff there.
No, I was
Honey
waiting
does
until
also have an infinite
yeah.
shelf life.
I was waiting until the end because I wanted Gail to get that, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's a weird
I
search.
was more confused.
Yeah, my first search says bouillon cubes, and I know that's not right.
Oh,
Right,
I'm like, no, I knew that one like legit. Like it should be honey. Because like
Yeah,
it's
it should be.
well, it's
yeah.
so honey, liquor, 'cause apparently that's natural. Rice and beans.
Yeah, but liquor's not really a food. I don't know if they're considering honey a food.
Depends on who
Yeah,
you talk to, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess it depends on the list. And
Well-
you know, these Quizica lists are all jacked up anyway.
Well, I would say with when you're talking about food, I would say like it's just it's sustenance in and of itself and not just an additive. So,
Could
I mean,
you not live on honey? It's got sugar.
I mean,
you really
you
couldn't
die
live
of
on
diabetes before too long.
you couldn't live on beans either, but it's a start,
I mean, beans at least have protein in them,
right?
unlike honey.
Yeah, either way, you try to live on one food, there's going to be a deficiency somewhere. All right, look,
Yeah.
that's not going to work out. But anyway, our ranger, using a nearby sword, hacks off the alligator head of the Whydra in retaliation for its cheek. And speaking of cheek, the hippo head of the Whydra lashes out, but rather than using the powerful jaws of a hippo to bite, simply smacks against Rachel, our healer, who is nearby.
The hungry hippo.
Good news is Tim has shifted into the front, so healer is it. The warrior is now against the Whydra. Y'all mentioned needing healing, and here's your opportunity because our next question is a science question for 10 magic points. Oh, no, it's not. It is a random category question for 10 magic points.
That's whatever.
For 10 magic points. We're gonna have a scavenger hunt.
Oh my God.
All right.
All right.
Here is your clue. It is warmth in the cold, on couch or bed. Its protection is gold.
Old.
Rachel's already sitting on a couch. I know where she is.
Yeah, I think Rachel got there first.
Yeah, Rachel definitely
Yeah.
got it because she's literally sitting on a couch.
It's actually good that Rachel got it anyway, because she could
It's a healer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to boost up Tim being up there at the front.
I would.
Tim, Tim, Tim. They
Yeah,
call me Tim.
What'd you say, Rachel?
Let's heal Tim.
All right, Tim it is, and being a healer, there is a little bit of a bonus to that. So Tim is almost back to full strength, except of course Warrior began with 60 HP. So he's doing his job though, being in the front. So taking the hits and making it count.
He
All
gets
right.
that. He gets that mead horn like bonus. That's what warriors do.
He's drinking natural liquor.
With some honey in it.
With some honey
Oh, yeah.
in.
Whiskey with honey. There you go.
I was there straight up mead. One or two.
Yeah, mead works too.
It's mead with
I have
dried
some on my
beans.
counter actually.
Yeah, with some beans on the
Oh.
side.
It's a warrior's diet. All right. Our next question is a science question for 10 sword points. What is the-
Point of order question.
Yes,
Am I on the bottom row or the top row at this point?
you are on the top row, but with your ability, you can use sword points a space
I know,
away.
but I can only go over one, so I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
Okay.
you can't quite
Yeah.
reach the wide.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
Just checking.
yep, good call to question that. All right, science question. 10 sword points. What is the principal difference between a catapult and a trebuchet?
Between a catapult and a what?
Trebuchet.
Rachel's like, what's a trebuchet?
I have a T-shirt with this actually.
Rachel.
Rachel, what's that?
A trebuchet is a specific version of the catapult that uses a counterweight to create the force to fling an object from a sling at the end of a pole.
That is correct. The
That's
trebuchet
great.
has
Rachel.
a counterweight.
You have to think about these questions since we're all playing together. Because that would have been better for Tim to answer, just letting you know.
It would have been, but
Oh,
I mean,
can I give it
we'll
to Tim?
let the healer get a couple stabs in.
that's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. Look,
Wait, what kind of points was it?
sword. You can
Okay.
hit the Whydra though, so it's not too big a deal.
So for the rest of the questions, can y'all like yell out if it's better for someone to get it? 'Cause I'm not following this. I'm
Yes.
still in the mindset of gotta get the question.
It's that Tim gets a bonus for sword points. Gail gets
Right.
a bonus for bow points, and
Okay,
we
so
get
y'all are-
bonuses. We get bonuses for magic points.
Right.
Okay, so
So-
I'm gonna let y'all handle the rest of them. I'm sorry.
No,
Well,
it's okay.
I mean,
If you-
damage
you
is
hear-
damage.
Yeah,
damage is
yeah.
damage.
There is still enough questions left with enough damage to kill the Whydra. So
Okay,
you
so I'm
guys,
looking for magic questions.
You
You
can
guys-
always search so that we can always have the backup. But just when the
Mhm.
question types come up, we have to think about what might be best.
yeah.
That's
But
why I
I-
didn't go for it, because I couldn't
Yeah.
hit anybody except for friendly fire.
Yeah.
So our healer, Rachel, who is adept not only in magical healing, but in the primitive ways of doctoring, grabs the nearest scalpel, screams Leroy Jenkins, and plunges the scalpel into the neck of one of the gerbil heads, severing it from the Whydra. It screams in pain, again sprouting two more gerbil heads. And also a head with a pig. So like the head is an entire pig. It's not just the pig's head.
It's like,
Wow.
is it just attached to the tail? He's just
Yeah.
like, what?
It spirals into the pig
Wow.
from the
Nice.
tail. Yes. So
The simple
and if-
fact we got Leroy Jenkins into this episode is so good.
well, here's the thing too. The Whydra is now in a dangerous position, being
Oh.
close to Tim, Rachel, Jack, and now even Gail as the ranger
Yep.
is able to hit
Nice.
it with the sword points. So wailing in pain, screaming, the Whydra lashes out, hitting Rachel,
Hmm.
Jack, and Tim for
Ooh.
5 points, pushing the Whydra back into the position it was. So,
Tim's
All
still
right.
up front though. That's all that matters.
all right.
I am a very effective meat shield.
Hey, you understand the job.
You got
Oh, yeah.
injured. You got injured by a rock. I mean,
Yeah. And not even like the cool like ROC like giant bird rock. No, that's a pebble.
I mean, they do make arrowheads out of rocks, so
Yeah.
Look, to be
it's a
fair,
fatty rock.
Karna was able to weaponize his severed arm to decent effect. So,
yeah,
you
but
know,
you can do that. Link can do that too.
he's
I
a
mean,
he's a resourceful little necromancer. Give him some credit. All right. Our next question is a science question for 10 bow points.
Which Tim keep
No.
getting? Right?
Gail.
Gail. Okay.
It would be best if Gail got it. For 10 bow points, how long was Mike the headless chicken able to survive after losing its head? In hindsight, this should have been sword points just for the laughs.
Yeah. 18 months.
18 months is correct.
Good job, Gail.
For 15 damage. Gail, the ranger, lets her arrow sing again, piercing the pig. The
Bake it.
pig head of the Whydra that is the whole pig. It doesn't kill it, but it does make it squeal quite a bit. Enraged at this new development,
Oh, God.
the Whydra thrashes around, and one of the gerbil heads falls limply on Tim, damaging him for 5.
I was going to
HP.
say, are the gerbils going to attack Gail again? Like,
Vicious
Look.
creatures.
Look, you might want to heal Gail at some point because I'm not sure if these gerbils are rabid or not. And I mean, gerbils are not classically biting creatures, so I assume there's something about them that's not right. All right.
it's not like this is a real gerbil. It's a freaking gerbil head on like some giant monster thing.
All right, our next question is a history question for 10 magic points. Who won the Peloponnesian War?
Jack.
Jack, what do you have?
Sparta?
Sparta? Sparta is correct.
I could not have spelled Peloponnesian more wrong.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Not any more wrong than me. 'Cause I thought it started with a T and did telekinesis, which came up with television war.
Like I wasn't even looking at it as I was typing because I did not want to like have to redo it.
It's like the reverse of pterodactyl. It starts with a silent T.
Okay, so those are magic, right?
Yes.
So
You could.
it'd
Take
be
it.
15 from the
Yeah.
thing, but 10 if I healed someone, right?
Right. If it was me, I'd go for the damage, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'm just because you're gonna damage everybody here in just a second with whatever I do. So yeah, we'll just take the damage. Let's go.
All right. Using the lost art of triviamancy, our mage Jack is able to pull a "is this your card" trick on the Whydra, causing some confusion. But then he followed it up with a what do you call it? A shell game, right? With some dried beans under it. And what happened there is the Whydra's heads got tangled and suffocated 2 of the gerbil heads. So good move.
Get rid of those
Using-
gerbils.
Nicely done.
Mhm.
Good old fashioned street magic has saved the day.
I David Blaine some gerbils.
And to think that Mama said that nothing would ever come of you studying that there magic. She was wrong.
And so the Whydra, with its still squealing pig head, um, the pig head cried wee 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 all the way down onto Gail's still living body, not yet lifeless body, for 10 damage. So that's what happened there.
I've been attacked
Oof.
by bacon.
You
That's-
know you're
that's-
having a bad day when the bacon attacks you.
Yeah, like isn't that just diabetes?
Yeah,
Oh.
something.
So all right. Look, to be a like D&D inspired campaign, we've had some pretty good jokes here. All right. Next question is for 10 bow points, a random category question. We are going to play the elimination game. We have 5 categories here. Hands up, no Google. I am going to go in window order. My window. I don't care what y'all's looks like. It's Tim, Rachel, Jack, then Gail. I will call out names as need be. Tim, our first category is Greek gods.
Oh no.
So start us off with Greek gods.
So just a question for how this works. So am I
Name-
supposed to?
Just name a Greek god, and that's all you have to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything that fits in that category, try not to repeat and try not to blank out, because if you blank out for too long, you're eliminated.
So I start and then I keep going.
No, you start, and then
you
it
start.
rotates around.
Okay. Zeus.
Rachel?
Hercules.
He's not
No.
a god. Sorry,
Demigod.
Demigod.
not the same.
No.
I was really
Rachel,
just trying to cancel that one out. Y'all are welcome.
I could go a long time.
I halfway
on
thought Rachel was gonna say like Maui. Like
He's demigod of the wind and sea.
Shiva.
I mean, you could go with Poseidon. He's
What can I say?
Kind of equivalent.
That you're welcome.
All right. I purposely worded this one vague. So Jack, start us off with magicians.
Gandalf.
That's even worse.
Gail.
David Blaine.
Tim.
Mm.
Penn Tucker.
Jack.
I'll take that, but it's David Copperfield.
Gail.
Penn and Teller.
I did not expect this to be the way this went. Tim.
Uh,
And eliminated.
Merlin. I don't know.
I'm like, oh crap! I know there's so many. Of
Okay,
them.
so what are
Yeah.
these? What are these points for, Ryan?
Bow points.
Okay,
All right.
So it's good
Jack's,
that Gail's still in there.
yeah.
yes.
I'm kind of
Jack's,
impressed because I don't know very many Greek gods. So
I could go a long time on Greek, an
Yeah,
embarrassingly long
it could
time
go
on Greek
really
gods.
long and it's bad.
So Jack starts off with animals that don't have 4 legs.
A dog. I know that's
Oh.
wrong because I want Gail to have these.
Okay. In that case, Gail wins. Gail has the bow
there are
points.
some 3-legged dogs called Lucky, but
Yeah.
I
I was about to say David Blaine again, but that would have been a correct answer. And that's not what I was gonna go.
How weird that David Blaine is the correct answer to that question.
wow.
All right. Okay. Gail, out of conventional arrows, picks up one of the severed Whydra heads and uses the
Gerbil arrow?
severed spinal column tipped with gerbil to
Wow.
fire it at the Whydra, adding
dark.
insult to injury. That's one of the gerbil heads.
Pretty
severed
damage
gerbil
for that though. No,
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Gerbil arrows. Who knew?
They had their teeth out like
So the Whydra, in retaliation for this incredibly insulting offense, has just rendered like a crushing yo mama joke on Jack for 10 damage.
Rushing.
It damaged his self-esteem and therefore his HP.
My
All right.
mama's so fat she on both sides of the family.
Almost so fat, she makes all of her jokes crushing. All right.
All right.
wow.
What will likely, though not certainly, be the final question of the night? A culture question for 10 magic points. Which Game of Thrones episode posted the highest ratings?
Gail,
You're getting like two different answers here. Go
Gail,
ahead,
what
Gail.
Gail, what do you have?
Battle of the Bastards.
That is not what I have.
Jack.
Jack, what do you have?
Season 3, episode 10, Winds of Winter.
That is also not what I have.
What?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Tim,
Tim, what do you have?
I have, according to IMDb, The Reigns of Castamere. It was the name of the episode.
That is still not what I have, but let me double check.
Can I answer?
Yes, you can.
The bells.
The Bells is correct. And so
Honestly,
our-
I would have assumed it was the Red Wedding. Like,
That's my initial
Yeah.
thought. I was gonna just like blindly go for that, but I was like, better.
Yeah,
check.
I'm not sure why. It says it's the penultimate episode of Game of Thrones, The Bells. Has the highest ratings in series history, 12.48 million viewers, whatever. Previous record was the season 7 finale, which is probably the episode you guys were talking about. I've never
Okay.
watched an episode of Game of Thrones, so I don't really care.
Wow.
all right. So
I didn't know.
I'm-
Watch two. Didn't get far.
time for the end of this campaign. So Rachel, our healer, does something rather unconventional to the Whydra. First, Rachel heals one of the gerbil heads from the Whydra. Wait. And then 4 days
then?
later, through a certified mail, the Whydra gets the bill. At that point, the Whydra decides this is not worth it. And so the procedure is reversed and the Hydra dies of its wounds. Our knights have saved the land from Karna and his wicked
Yeah.
plot to revive the dreaded Whydra. Thank
Go
you,
Team
Trivia
Us.
Knights.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay!
The kingdom is
Huzzah!
saved. And the pet store is
Yay.
now out of business because gerbils are kind of a taboo now. So
yeah.
Certified letter he couldn't sign for with his T-Rex arms.
like, wow, I went to the ER and this is what happens. So
Mhm.
Well, that's what you get for having so many gerbils. Man.
the veterinary bills aren't cheap either.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me on this very interesting experimental episode of the Raw Quiz Show. I know I enjoyed it. I had fun.
That was fun. Yeah.
That was fun.
You guys survived. Actually, I'm a bit surprised you guys came closer to death than I expected. So,
Yeah, it was a
I-
little touch and go there for a little while. I was
It was all these
starting to get
gerbil heads.
concerned.
It was all those gerbils just running around biting Gail on the ankles.
Ankle biters.
all right. Thank you. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. If you have an idea for a future Raw Quiz Show in the land of Quizica, Trivia Night's enemy, something to add to this strange bestiary, leave it below. And honestly, if you have a question you would like asked on the Raw Quiz Show, send your question to rawquizshow@gmail.com. I will ask your question in an episode. And also, I kind of want fan art of the Whydra, so if you can do that, I would be eternally grateful. Thanks.
Gerbils.